Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L coming in to talk about Kimetsu no Yaiba chapter 182. I have it right in front of me. We are on the 8th day of the YouTube screwover. And yeah, it's going along. It's going along. Anyway, Kimetsu no Yaiba. I haven't covered Kimetsu no Yaiba in a while, mostly because I struggle with the amount of content that Kimetsu no Yaiba, a basic chapter, has, especially during the fights. But, you know, it's been a while, so we can talk about it here. We can catch up a little bit. So, the first big thing I do want to say is first, just to sum up my thoughts on the previous fight. Because in this one, we're going into the Muzan fight, and it looks pretty freaking cool. But, you know, the last one, we ended off with a few character deaths. And let me tell ya, it subverted my expectations. If you watched the last video, which was weeks and weeks ago, you know I was rooting for a particular solution. We did not get that solution. We got something better in a lot of ways. And you know, coming out of that mini fight, or I want to call it a mini arc, like the you know, the first pillar arc kind of thing. Coming out of it, it's like, yeah, that really subverted expectations. That was really good. I can't predict Kimetsu no Yaiba. I ain't good at it. Kimetsu no Yaiba has an irregular story beat, or like, you know, well, it flows differently, and that is really awesome. That's really cool. So coming out of that and coming into this one, I'm excited. I bet you guys, the Kimetsu no Yaiba fans, are also pretty excited, because why wouldn't you be? I mean, we're seeing cool stuff here. Now, when it comes to chapter 182, let's talk about highlights. You know, what did the chapter tell us? One, it showed us Muzan's capabilities, so we know Muzan's pretty freaking dangerous. Two, it removed Tanjiro's eyesight, took out one of his eyes. That was a pretty brutal thing to have lost on him. Kimetsu no Yaiba is not afraid of dismembering its characters, so this is kind of dangerous, because, you know, Tanjiro could end up winning in the end, right? But what if he has missing limbs, right? His quality of life for the remainder of his life is not that great. So this is a legitimate threat. So he has a smashed eye. Three, you could say Yushiro coming in. Oh, I think I mispronounced his name. Let me just make sure I got it right. It's Yushiro, I think. Yeah, that's the name. So Yushiro coming in. So those three things, and then we will talk about Yushiro because his portion is the one that really deserves a lot of things. So those were really the three highlights: power, sacrifices, Yushiro plot twist, and Muzan being taken for a fool for a quick second. Cool stuff overall. Now, you know, but in terms of stepping through this step by step, you know, the big thing is obviously the plot twist. When we go into the plot twist, as a reader, when I was reading that page that showed how the two pillars had died in the fight with the girl with the instrument, I'm just thinking, nah, no way. I don't believe it. Nah. They would have had it more. They would have had more ceremony, more pomp and circumstance into that thing. They would have showed more. That's what I was thinking. And it's like, yeah, no, Kimetsu is super popular. They're not gonna rush this. They're not trying to rush it. If this was like a series that was on the edge of cancellation, yes, totally. But nah. I didn't believe it at all. Now, what I was actually really scared about was that I thought they were gonna keep that as a surprise for like 3 chapters. I was expecting that we were going to be in here thinking that they were dead for 3 chapters. So I was very happy that the author just came out and showed like the big scheme and showed that the 2 characters were still alive and well. And then once that happens, I'm like, okay, well, how did this work out? So the legitimate plot twist of Yushiro being there and blocking out the girl's eyesight, that was really cool. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. It made sense. He has the motive. He has the intent. It made sense. His power makes sense. He can already do the sight sharing. So, of course, everything made sense for how that worked out. I really appreciated it. I think that was a good job, author. Like, applause. You did really good on that. That was a cool surprise. But now, because we are dealing with the final villain, or, you know, like at least like one of the climactic villains of Kimetsu no Yaiba, my question is, Yushiro, did you get overconfident? Did you get cocky? I understand that you want to say get revenge for Tamayo, and that is totally admirable. You know, in some parts of me, I kind of wish Tamayo. I kind of feel like Tamayo is still alive, but Kimetsu seems pretty set on removing people for good. So I won't go into that crazy theory. But back to Yushiro, I do wonder if he got over eager when he started talking, because we know Muzan can sense share with his upper rank, well, with his demons in general. We know that he can sense share. I feel like Yushiro telling him that he's controlling that girl's vision and him hearing it, I feel like that might botch them. I feel like this is one of those situations where I feel Yushiro should have been quieter. It would have been better to just have Muzan confused about what was going on. Now, mind you, I don't know what's going on in that final scene. I can't really tell if Muzan is actually hearing what Yushiro is saying, but I feel like giving away that information could potentially come back to haunt Yushiro. Like, I feel that's a reasonable concern, especially because we saw how many up and downs the upper rank 1 fight had. Like, there were tons of highs and lows in that fight where it looked like things were going well, but then, you know, people kept like just, you know, they just keep lifting the bar up, and it was just, I'm concerned. I don't want this to be dragged out too hard, so it's a concern. Hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully Yushiro is okay. I'd rather Yushiro not get totally destroyed there, but he might have his fight coming up here. He might have the fight with what is she, upper rank 5 or 4? I don't really recall. Anyway, other things in the chapter that I think were worthwhile. You know, we got the Muzan power demonstration, and we also saw that our other 2 pillars didn't really do great against him. So, well, sorry, the love pillar, she didn't do really that great against him. He was still quite alright. I'm very interested to see how the 4 of them are going to get involved here. I want to see what exactly the choreography is going to be. The upper rank 1 fight, I think, already set the bar pretty high. I feel like in this case, Muzan is just sheer power. He doesn't have technique. He doesn't have skill. He just has like sheer physical prowess. So I do wonder if we're eventually going to get a rhetoric where we have like the skill starting to approach just the sheer monster that is Muzan. Because really, at its base, these guys are just fighting something that they've always fought. Something that goes beyond human. It's just like Muzan definitely goes significantly more beyond human, but it's still that they're used to it. They're used to that upward battle. They're used to climbing that upward hill. I want to see where this goes. I think we got some cool people here. I hope some more people show up. It would be wonderful if Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Kanao all show up to do this fight. I think that would be really cool, but I'm not going to expect too much from them because they've all had their respective battles. Anyhoosers, chapter 182. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next chapter. I want to see how this is going to go. I hope that this goes straight forward and that the instrument woman doesn't somehow take control again, because really that's the problem. As long as she doesn't take control again, it'll be pretty great. Hopefully someone will come by really quickly to just chop off her head too. Although I kind of question that. If Yushiro was already blocking out her sight, why didn't the other 2 just take the opportunity to chop off her head? Were they really waiting for the opportunity? Were they waiting for the surprise chance? I mean, a surprise definitely is worthwhile, but I really feel like leaving her alive is a bigger problem in the long run. We'll have to see. Oh, you know what? I also need to get in the habit of doing this. I need to do the Patreon thank yous. The general thank yous for the wonderful people who are helping me get through this horrid YouTube screw over. So, a big thank you to Barry on Wills, Frosty, Dread Knight, I assume that's Dread Knight, Hyrule, Jason Lee, Joaquim, Mags14, Noob, Skelly, Talowolf, and XP. Skelly, Talowolf, and XP. It's pretty cool that all 3 of you are together like that, because I know you guys a lot from the comments. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. You are helping me like heart, and yeah, that's now officially the end of the video. If anyone also, okay, but yeah, that's officially the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day. I will make a better graphic for this, for the thank yous.